Good morning, church family. So I've been thinking a little bit about my personal response to the virus here and everything that's going on in our country right now and in the world, and just wondering what our response as Christians should be. And the other day, God brought a couple characters to mind from the Bible, and one certain situation, and it's David. And right after he had slept with Bathsheba, and Bathsheba found out that she was pregnant and told David, David had called for Uriah to come home and to be with his wife. And Uriah doesn't go home. He goes and sleeps outside the king's gate, and he rests there because he recognized that his brothers were out in the field, and they were fighting the war that he was supposed to be fighting, that the king was supposed to be fighting. In fact, it says that it was the time that kings went out to war is when David fell, because he was at home in the comfort of his home. And we have a lot of time at home right now. We have a lot of time to do nothing if we choose to do that. We have a lot of time to just to think a little bit and to really draw closer to God if we take that opportunity. And I was just looking at the contrast between those two characters. And David, when he was supposed to be out in the battlefield, at the time when he was supposed to be out and with his men and defeating the enemy that God wanted him to defeat, he was at home, and he was in the comforts of his home, which isn't a bad thing in and of itself, but that's all he was seeking, was the comforts of his home. And it enabled him to get complacent and then to even fall into sin. And Uriah, when he comes back, he recognizes that, first of all, he's part of a kingdom. He's part of the kingdom of Israel, and that he has a mission to do. And part of that mission is to be with his men and to recognize that there's a war going on in Israel, and they are supposed to be taking this one city in particular. And he recognizes that his brothers are there, and he said, how can I go down to my wife, to be with my wife, when I know that the rest of the men, the rest of the guys in the army are out there fighting against this city, and how can I be in comfort when I know that there's a conflict going on that I am part of the kingdom of. And I just want you guys to recognize we are part of a heavenly kingdom. We are part of the kingdom of Jesus Christ, and I believe he's doing something bigger even through this virus that he's allowed, that meets the eye a lot of times. There's a lot of chaos around the world. If we focus on the news and things like that, then it'll bring us down. But guys, we're part of a heavenly kingdom, and even during this time in isolation and quarantine, we can be a part of that kingdom. We can seek to advance that kingdom, and we don't have to just seek our own comfort first, but we can truly connect with the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, and really be on the front lines of the battle that's going on for the hearts and souls of men. And I just want to encourage you guys just to really seek God during this time and to allow him just to pour into you everything that he has for you. And one other character that I thought about as well, who was kind of in the midst of conflict as well, and it was Nehemiah. And the Jerusalem had been completely destroyed. The walls were torn down, and he was the king's cupbearer in a foreign land, and he had an opportunity to just to be the king's cupbearer in comfort, and to continue doing that if he wanted. But he had such a burden on his heart for the kingdom of Israel that he couldn't rest. It said that he prayed and he fasted and he wept, and he was so distraught about the state of the kingdom of Israel. And also, sometimes there are burdens that God intends us to carry. And that may not sound like something you want to hear, but there's a burden that we are supposed to carry, I believe, for the lost and for those around us who are unsaved. And just how we can allow those things to affect us to the point that it drives us to action for those things. Prayer, and even speaking out when we get the opportunities to tell someone about Jesus Christ. And I just want to encourage you guys to, if he gives you that opportunity via social media, maybe one of your neighbors, to take that opportunity and to really recognize that this time in quarantine and in isolation is something that we can use to advance the kingdom of Christ. So, hey, church family, I love you guys so much. I can't wait to get back together with you guys and think about a lot of you guys. Pray for you guys. You guys are a huge blessing in my life, and just so yeah, we're in this together. So if you have any comments or anything, feel free to give me a text or a call. I love you guys.